Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Today we're going to show off a team that I went 15-0 with. This team consists of Shadow Ninetales running Weather Ball and Overheat, Shadow Machamp with Cross Chop and Rock Slide, and then finally Melmetal with Superpower and Rock Slide. One of the best things about a team like this is that all three of these Pokemon can close a game. Shadow Ninetales has Overheat, Shadow Machamp has oppressive counter damage. Finally, Melmetal can charge moves so quickly that it always has pressure. I hope you all enjoy these battles, and go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. In these matches, I'm going to have pretty much bad leads in every single battle. The first one I go against is going to be a Rainy Castform. When the lead is bad, your safe swap is actually going to be Shadow Machamp. And the reason is because the things that will generally counter Shadow Machamp can be countered by Ninetales. This means they can put a lot of damage in and respond back with Ninetales after without shielding. Even though my opponent responds with Mandibuzz, I'm able to get shield pressure because of Rock Slide. You'll notice that it's actually very rare that I'm going to block with Shadow Machamp. After Machamp goes down, I'm waiting the clock off because I know that I'm going to take out my Ninetales. And after Ninetales knocks out Mandibuzz, I'm going to immediately switch into my Melmetal because I want to interact with that Castform as little as possible with my Shadow Ninetales. I don't know exactly what's in the back, so I'm going to start utilizing my shields for my Melmetal. That way I can just focus on getting energy at the moment. My opponent tries to catch with Frostlass, but that isn't going to really work out over here because I'm going for Rock Slides anyway, and Rock Slide is super effective against Frostlass. Additionally, with Frostlass, I can really maintain my energy and focus on when I want to throw because I win CMP tie and I outpace it dramatically. With my opponent this low, I know I have a couple win conditions. I can try to overheat it, or I can basically get a Rock Slide over here or a Superpower, switch into my Ninetales, and then pressure them to use a charge on my Ninetales. In this case, my opponent's forced to throw the charge move, knowing that I can either Weather Ball or even charge it to an Overheat. Because of this, I can just come back with my Melmetal and go ahead and finish the game with Superpower. And there goes game 1. In game 2, we meet a Whiscash, which is actually worse than Castform. It's super good against both my lead and my Melmetal closer. I immediately switch to my Shadow Machamp, and they respond with Frostlass. This is actually fun, and the reason is because Shadow Machamp beats Frostlass in the 1 and 2 shields, and if it's ahead on energy, it can actually beat it in the 0 shields as well because of CMP time. This second charging was probably a CMP tie, but because Shadow Machamp has a higher attack, it's actually going to win with a Rock Slide. Now, even though I have one switch, it doesn't mean I'm out of the woods. This Whiscash is still going to cause a lot of problems for me, which makes me actually block this Mud Bomb over here, unfortunately for me. I'm going to do what I can to whittle it down as much as possible, and hopefully they don't sneak a move in. I'm actually really glad that I was able to get this second charge move off and take that shield off of Whiscash. This charge move is going to take out my Machamp, and I'm going to bring in my Melmetal. The reason is because I want to charge up my energy, and I know that my Melmetal actually wins the CMP tie against Whiscash. My opponent instantly switches over to Lapras, which is fine with me. I think they don't want to get behind an energy over here, which is okay. My plan at this point is to basically throw a Rock Slide and then switch out over to my Ninetales and soak up a Surf over there because the Ice Sharks are still resisted. If I farm down the Lapras, I can actually have enough energy for an Overheat which will take out Whiscash. Whiscash comes out, I farm up 2 more Fire Spins and am able to get the Overheat to win the game. And there goes game 2. In game 3, we see a Toxicroak, which is actually once again really bad for me. Toxicroak is actually good against all 3 of my Pokemon. I know on my 4th Fire Spin, it has the ability to do a Mud Bomb, so I'm just going to keep pushing and try to sneak a move in, which I'm able to do. This is really good for me because it means that I can get 2 Weather Balls off before it can get off a second Mud Bomb. My opponent has to block both of these if it plans to win switch. I know with both shields down, my Machamp or my Melmetal can close the game. With Toxicroak being this low, I'm going to let my Ninetales go, and I'm actually going to farm it down with my Machamp. Shadow Machamp with loaded energy is super deadly. And my opponent quit. There goes game 3. So we're going to see another Toxicroak this round, but that's okay, we already know how to play this. Once again, we're going to keep throwing fire spins, and then when they throw the Mud Bomb, hopefully we can sneak one in, which unfortunately this time we don't, but that's okay. We're still going to be able to reach the second Weather Ball before they reach a second Mud Bomb. Knowing how to counter your moves and making sure their moves are synced properly are really important to this matchup, because if you don't, you can easily give your opponent a free turn and give them the ability to pull off a fast one before you can pull yours off. With both shields down, I'm actually fine with letting my Ninetales go down and then coming back and farming the Toxicroak down with my Machamp. We're going to go ahead and block this charge move because we want to make sure that we keep Machamp nice and healthy. With Toxicroak down, my opponent's going to bring out Wigglytuff, which is really bad for me. I'm going to throw out a charge move as fast as I can, and then switch over to my Melmetal so I stop taking charm damage. When I see green, I'm actually feeling pretty good because I know that my opponent needs to get 12 turns or 4 bullet seeds to get to 1 charge move. I mean that I have 24 turns before they can get off a second crunch. On my side, I know that I can get 1 rock slide off and 1 superpower to take out this Greedent. Not actually get too greedy here, I actually was trying to charge up extra energy for when I go against the Wigglytuff, and I let a second charge move over. That's going to be okay though, because basically I have enough energy to take out this green right now, and I can still superpower the Wigglytuff coming in. After I superpower, I can go ahead and punch it down with my Machamp. And there goes game 4. In game 4, I finally get a neutral matchup with Pidgeot. With Pidgeot, I know it uses Gust, which is a 4-turn move, and Fire Spin is a 3-turn move. So that means I'm going to go straight to my Weather Ball, do 1 more Fire Spin, and then throw my charge attack right away. This is to prevent Pidgeot from sneaking in the Gust. With that Weather Ball connecting, I'm okay with this Pidgeot doing Braver, meaning that I can farm it down with my Melmetal. In this case, it Feather Dance, which is something I'm okay with as well. This Weather Ball is going to take out the Pidgeot, or get a really easy shield for me. Now I don't want Ninetales to get farmed down, so I switch into my Machamp blindly. Now as I mentioned earlier in the video, Machamp versus the Frostus is actually a favorable matchup for Machamp. When I see the Whiscash, I already know this game is over because my Melmetal can easily handle the Frostus as well as my Ninetales. At this point, I can just keep using cross shots and countering down this Whiscash. My opponent's going to do the best they can to keep pressure down. I'm going to block everything that comes out over here because at the end of the day, I want to take out this Whiscash before it sees either one of my Pokemon. I'm 90% sure that this was a CMP type, so after this cross chop goes off, I'm going to get responded by a Mud Bomb, which there it is. From this health, I can actually farm down the Whiscash with my Ninetales and then use a Weather Ball on the Frostus right away. But they switch. Either way, it's okay because I'm going to reach that Weather Ball before they reach a charge move. At this point, my opponent has no outs, and when Whiscash comes back in, they surrender. I hope you all enjoyed the showcase. I actually have another set of videos where I win a lot of leads, but I thought that using this one would show a little more of how to kind of maneuver around bad leads as well. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more. If there's a specific Pokemon you want to see featured, go ahead and leave in the comments, and I'll make it happen. See y'all soon.